Now, on Queer News Tonight, radical right says deep state is in sports. Now, the crazy story of Taylor Swift trying to destroy America?
Rustin's Coleman Domingo embarrassed as Oprah learns of his wild impersonation on the Big Gay Sketch Show, and a rare clip of him in drag as Maya Angelou.
It's Always Sunny's Rob McElhenney, accustomed to on-screen gay role, reveals real-life LGBTQ plus connection due to the family, featuring 2 lesbian mothers.
Pianist Mark Hayes, known for diverse compositions, performs at Sunshine Cathedral on February 11th. It will be an entire new meaning to Take Me to Church.
Controversial but reclaimed, queer evolves from derogatory term to inclusive label for the LGBTQ plus community. As LGBTQ plus, how old you are dramatically affects your embracement.
Hello and welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ plus daily evening television news, broadcasting live and available on demand on all smart TVs, including Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire TV, and social platforms, including Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and a little Instagram's thrown in there. It's time to queer up the news for Thursday, February 1st, 2024. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we are going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first live daily LGBTQ evening news show, literally out of the closet and into the headlines on Queer News Tonight.
I'm out South Florida senior reporter John Hayden. This evening we bring you the news of and perspective representing the LGBTQ plus community from South Florida, America, and across the planet.
This is the world's first and only unedited live LGBTQ plus evening news show. Whatever happens unique in LGBTQ plus news, you will see it and hear it.
Hotspots Magazine Happening Out Television Network is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model of PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ plus community. Our mission? To support the 10 pillars of our LGBTQ plus community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of our Black community, Latino, lesbians and queer women, trans, students, youth, seniors, HIV/AIDS healthcare, business, social justice, and faith. Help us support our community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ plus media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network.
In 2024, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ plus experience, and our television, news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ plus and broader community.
All right, the weekend is here, but before we go on the break, we need to go ahead and meet our panel. Up first, Dr. Tai Houser, a professor of English and Humanities at Broward College. He also teaches at the College of Business at FAU. He served as a visiting professor at colleges in Bolivia, Brazil, China, India, Spain, and Brooklyn, right?
Sure, why not?
Okay. And he brings an international point of view. Tai owns Linden Bridge, an educational experience company. Welcome back.
Always good to be here, John. I'm liking this panel.
I know. I think we're going to have a little fun tonight.
Handsome gentlemen.
Thank you.
Up next, Gregg Shapiro. His ninth book, Refrain and Light, was selected for the Poetry Mutual 10 Best Poetry Books of 2023.
It was.
His entertainment coverage includes celebrity interviews and runs in a variety of print and online publications. Welcome back, Gregg.
Well, I'm so happy to be back with this foxy panel.
I see the theme. I see that.
What does the fox say? Well, we're going to find out. Up next, Dr. Bobby Huen, a certified civil and family mediator and founder of BH Conflict Resolution Services. Originally from Hong Kong and having grown up around the world, he offers a queer global perspective on current events. Welcome back, Bobby.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Today's panel is sexy. Just want to say that.
We brought it back.
Yeah. Yes, we did. And we're not apologizing to anyone. And finally, let's welcome Ryan Hurst. He is the Director of Individual Giving for the National LGBTQ Plus Task Force. Born in 1973, is one of...
Oh my God.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Founded in 1973, the Task Force is one of America's leading social justice organizations, and they will host one of the world's great events at Winter Party Festival in Miami Beach later this month. It kicks off on February 28th and runs through March 5th. So what's happening with Winter Party?
Well, first, I'm going to get you for that. Winter Party is over 30 years old. It's an incredible week-long celebration of being queer, being LGBTQ, and that is so important right now in these times, especially here in Florida. It's also a very important fundraiser for the South Florida LGBTQ community. A significant portion of the money raised at Winter Party is donated right back here to our community to support local nonprofit organizations. Tickets and passes are on sale right now.
Sweet. Entertainment?
So many amazing DJs from all over the world. Go to winterparty.com. You will see the full lineup. Also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, Twitter. It's just absolutely incredible.
Awesome. And before we move on, I know 4 of us were at the same event over the weekend. We were at My Hollywood. Were you there at all?
I was not. I had something come up.
You missed that.
Good for you. No, but My Hollywood Pride, I think all 4 of us were there. You and I rode together and had a really nice time. And I saw you there, like, for a second. I was chasing after Faye, and I was like, okay, bye.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, but Faye moves.
She does.
Faye can move.
Yeah, long legs.
In heels, she is amazingly speedy.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, let's get on with the show, because we are the reporters for Queer News Tonight. And this evening, we begin with the queer headlines. The LGBTQ plus community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community around the world is vast. And here are the bullet points of the queer news for Thursday, February 1st, 2024. And we begin by queering up sports. Conservatives are alarmed by Taylor Swift, the Super Bowl, and LGBTQ+. The prevailing paranoid mindset within the radical right and evangelical circles came to the forefront this week after the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship. Afterwards, a segment of the assertive male TV audience collectively conjured up a pervasive deep state threat, even within the rugged world of team sports. Notably, the perceived threat isn't male, but female, as evidenced by an on-field kiss after the game between Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Her immense popularity has become a focal point with conservative radicals. Media outlets like Fox News, Newsmax, and OAN are contributing to a conspiracy theory that suggests Swift and Kelce are part of a coordinated effort to endorse Joe Biden at the Super Bowl. The concern is Swift could mobilize her devoted fan base, known as Swifties, to register and vote, implicating the entire city of Kansas City and the NFL in the scheme. This conspiracy narrative bears a resemblance to tactics familiar to the LGBTQ plus community, where our identity is often exploited as a scapegoat strategy to divert attention from other issues.
A lot of really weird, lonely, insecure men out there. The fact that a pop star, the world's biggest pop star, is dating a star tight end who had one of his greatest games ever, and a network puts them on the air briefly, that it bothers you, what does that say about your life? Judge people sometimes on the silly stuff that bothers them. It'll tell you a lot about them. When I hear this whole thing about Taylor Swift, I just want to watch football. Liar. You're lying. That's not true. A football telecast is not just football. In fact, the commercials for 4 hours before the Super Bowl will be widely watched. Did you know statistically in a 3.5-hour NFL playoff broadcast or regular season broadcast, just 18 minutes are actual football? And we have the data, we have the numbers. You don't turn away. There's coaches cutaways. They show fans in Buffalo on fire, commercials, reviews, 18 minutes of real football. For the record, about the length of 5 Taylor Swift songs. Listen to this. The New York Times measured how long she was actually on the broadcast. Do you know how long it is on average? 25 seconds in 3.5 hours. Against the Ravens, it was up to a whopping 32 seconds. It was 14 Chiefs and Raiders on Christmas, 12 Chiefs and Bengals, 24 seconds, Buffalo, Kansas City. She was on for a minute against the Dolphins, but it was an absolutely awful broadcast. They should have had a concert in the middle of it. That would have been more interesting. And why wouldn't CBS, which you know has the Grammys, cross-promote the world's biggest pop star? Hey, listen, I worked at the other network. I work at Fox. I've seen us jam people on TV shows I would never watch during football games and sporting events. Don't forget to watch this right after the game. I've already forgot about it. Let's get back to the game. But I don't have to rush to social media. I'm okay with it. Here's the other thing that strikes me. Matthew McConaughey. All right. Love him. Drake on everything. Spike Lee, Knicks games. M&M's, Michigan sporting events. We celebrate it. 80s, 90s, Jack Nicholson Laker games is cool. Saw Jack. But a talented and beautiful woman is on the air, one who would never pay attention to lonely men, and it bothers them. There's a stat out there, it's kind of uncomfortable for you sad guys, that 50% of men never have real intimacy with a woman. That means the other 50% have multiple intimate relationships with women. And those ones that don't are angry and sad and lonely, and they are often misogynistic and resent women who didn't give them the time they think they deserve. We celebrate all these goofballs jumping on tables in Buffalo and cheese hats and men and Matthew McConaughey and Drake and Jack Nicholson, men and Eminem, and it's cool, and can I get a selfie, and I can't believe I saw. And a young, attractive, beautiful, talented woman comes on for 25 seconds. And you're bothered. Again, judge people by the silly things that bother them. This says nothing, this anger. This says nothing about Taylor Swift. It says everything about the men bothered by it. Let me defend...
Drop mic. I have nothing else to say. That was Fox Sports' Colin Cowherd on the Herd, and he says it all. Why are we so bothered? And I've been thinking about this for a while, because like he said, Drake and Jack, and there's always been celebrities at games. If they, and of course, sharing screen time with Taylor is Travis's mom. No one's complaining about that. If they were showing the mom every time Travis made a big play, nobody here would say a word. But because he's in this relationship that is, by default in our culture, fodder for the media.
Yeah, it's public.
He comes out and he kisses her after winning an AFC championship. Good for him. Good for him. And I believe, Colin, the word you were looking for was incel. Incel. Bitter males who couldn't get laid. Yeah, know where.
Even their hands don't want any part of it.
I think I have an answer to that question about Taylor Swift. What it is that they are afraid of her and the power of her fans.
Yes.
When Taylor Swift encouraged people to vote in one concert, 35,000 people signed up. Right. They went and registered to vote, and think about who Swifties are. Mm-hmm. They are generally younger, so millennial. They're generally liberal-leaning. They're generally a lot of women
and gays,
and both women's rights and gay rights are on the line. If these conservative men have their say, and the orange one gets elected.
We know there is a part of me as a gay person who often has to live in fear of what the next horrible thing a straight person could potentially do to us. I enjoy watching these squirming, radical, right-wing religious fanatics experiencing terror, the same terror that I have often experienced as a gay man, afraid of these people. And it really is because of her power that they believe that she has, right or wrong.
Taylor Terror.
Taylor
Terror.
I think you absolutely got it right. Nail on the head. It's multifaceted. Yes, there's a misogynistic
absolutely
piece of that, it is also the conservatives that are mad about this are afraid of people voting. They don't want people to vote. They don't want her to motivate people.
They don't want young people.
They don't want they don't want anyone to vote. They don't want they don't want people to vote that they don't think are going to vote for them. Is really what it is. And what is the alternative for conservatives here? Are they going to vote for, or are they going to root for San Francisco over?
Actually,
I just love that dichotomy.
Believe it or not, Franklin Graham, the notorious anti-LGBTQ evangelical everything, has publicly come out to tell evangelicals to support San Francisco's quarterback because he's Christian.
Oh, yeah.
Because somehow, apparently, Patrick Mahomes, I have no idea what.
Yeah, well, I mean, clearly God loves the 49ers and hates the Lions, because that's the only explanation for what happened this last weekend. Ty, do you have anything?
I don't like to pretend I know what Taylor Swift, Jesus, or conservatives are thinking.
Well, I'll tell you, there was a good article yesterday on TMZ where they said that Trump and his team are prepared to wage holy war on Taylor Swift and the Swifties if she comes out and supports Joe Biden, which just is, it's ridiculous on its face, but you also have to step back for a second and think, who are they trying to is Swift trying to motivate to vote? Because Swifties bought tickets like a year in advance, and they blacked out the date, much like, election day. They black out the date. They spend a ton of money to make sure they get to this one spot and do the one thing that they've planned to do for a year. So if she can take that and motivate Swifties to apply the same principle to voting, then yes, there should be some concern among the Mar-a-Lago crowd. Where should they be concerned at? Well, they should be concerned in Michigan. They should be concerned in central Pennsylvania, which is very red, but if you don't carry it by it, if it's not red enough, you'll lose Pennsylvania. Those are the types of places that they need to be concerned about. Outside of Las Vegas, it's red, but if it's not red enough, the Republicans lose. They know this, and they're going to put Taylor Swift up there as a boogeyman, and I have a feeling that is going to work about as well as DeSantis making Mickey Mouse the boogeyman. Spoiler alert, it doesn't.
Yeah, that's right. Now, let's queer up drag culture. Rare clip of Oscar nominee Coleman Domingo in drag on Big Gay Sketch Show. Out Rustin star Coleman Domingo revealed to Jimmy Kimmel that he was mortified when Oprah Winfrey found out about the wild, sexy impersonation of her that he did on television. Domingo said that he portrayed a comedic version of Oprah in a really weird, dark, crazy, highly sexually charged sketch that appeared on Logo's The Big Gay Sketch Show, years before the actor's current gig on the HBO Max hit Euphoria and his Oscar nomination for playing Bayard Rustin in the Netflix movie. Looking back on the Big Gay Sketch Show, which he starred in along with Kate McKinnon from 2007 to 2010, Domingo recalled the show as being a tentpole for Logo, alongside the early seasons of RuPaul's Drag Race. Domingo revealed that he was mortified to learn from mutual friend Lee Daniels that Oprah was aware of the sketch, adding that at some point, dressed as Oprah in the sketch, he had a ball gag in his mouth, was having crazy sex and doing weird things. Domingo says he was instantly afraid and went on to confess that every time he sees her, because he's actually become very friendly with Oprah, he always feels like she looks towards him like, I know what you did. Queer News Tonight went back to see some of Domingo's drag work and found this rare clip of him playing Maya Angelou.
Craigslist with America's treasure, Maya Angelou.
Hello, I'm Maya Angelou, lion tamer of your soul. Today's passage is dated June 4th from the for sale section of Craigslist. Snow Bunny coming to town for one night, offering up lines of fresh white powder. Call at 420 if you're interested in partying with Tina. Don't slip on the black tar unless you want to feel the ecstasy of the white pony. Easy hotel pickup.
Craigslist with America's treasure, Maya Angelou.
Well, I sincerely hope that my mentioning this on the show the other night was that the Maya Angelou impression was hopefully the inspiration for this longer story about it, because he is, I gotta tell you, Coleman Domingo is the very definition of versatility. He's a brilliant dramatic actor, and if you've ever seen any of the seasons, just 2 of them, of the Big Gay Sketch Show, you know that he's also a comic genius, and he's all wrapped up in one handsome package.
Speaking of versatility in a ball gag
is Ryan.
Oh, you stepped on me. You stepped on it. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna leave Coleman Domingo's versatility alone, and my alleged versatility alone, and just say, first, I had no idea he was on Big Gay Sketch Show. My first experience with him was on Fear the Walking Dead, which he played such a badass in.
You don't think that was badass? Maya Angelou reading Craigslist?
Oh my God. I remember. You guys, Craigslist personals, like, hilarious. I would pay all day to see Maya Angelou read that off every day. I can't imagine what it would be like to stand in front of Maya Angelou or Oprah and have them have seen me parody them. Yeah. What a terrible feeling that would be.
Fear the Oprah.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I mean, can you imagine being in front of Oprah? I feel like it's like worse than being in front of like British royalty. It's like, what am I going to say?
Yeah, well, I think Oprah has more money than British royalty, and her houses are probably nicer.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, okay, first off, Oprah knows all.
Right.
I just thought about making an Oprah joke, and she already knows that.
She knew the bunch.
Because she just knows all. And it's a little bit of a humble brag, like, oh yeah, I've become friends with her. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, trust me, you're not friends with Oprah. She makes everybody feel like she's their friend, but you're not. Gail, apparently Lee Daniels, probably.
Stedman.
Lee Daniels.
They're friends.
Hi, Steady. Yeah, those are your friends. But look, if you're getting serious FaceTime with Oprah Coleman, God bless you. But we need to make this like a recurring segment. Old Big Gay Sketch Show.
Oh my God, Kate McKinnon.
Yeah.
Nicole Payon, an amazing lineup.
Yeah,
McGovern.
I'm sending the concept to rights and clearances to see if we can make.
Do we have that department?
Coleman Domingo should send Oprah the ball gag for her birthday.
Oh, sign it.
Sign it. Yeah.
Sign it. Send it to her.
Sign it. Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. All right, next, we're going to queer up entertainment. Welcome to Wrexham's Rob McElhenney talks about being raised by 2 gay mothers, a gift. Rob McElhenney, known for portraying a gay character on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, shares that in real life, he's always been connected to the gay community through his family. Following his mother, Helena McElhenney's coming out as a lesbian, she and Rob's father went through a divorce, leading to the formation of a new family with 2 mothers. In a 2021 interview with GLAAD, Helena reminisced about meeting her now wife, Mary Taylor, almost 4 decades ago. She shared that after working as a school teacher, she transitioned to nursing, where she met Mary. Helena expressed that from the moment they met, Mary was the person she knew she wanted to spend the rest of her life with. Rob, who has 2 brothers that are gay, emphasizes that he has been part of the gay community since childhood, highlighting the diverse and inclusive nature of his family. I'm going to be honest, I stopped watching It's Always Sunny a while ago. I didn't know that he came out in the show, which I think is fantastic. I always sort of felt like he was going to. And second, that thirst trap? Are you kidding me?
Can we
bring that back, please? Can we bring that back? Can we bring the thirst trap pick back, Steve? This is just for our own delight. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can we just use this as our visuals for the remaining stories of the show? Wait, no, I mean, sure, he's in Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but he should be in L.A. at the Abbey.
In a thong.
Bum, bum, bum.
In a thong.
No. I want to find his gay brother's Instagrams and follow them. That one that they in the family picture, cute.
Wow.
I need to see the other one. Are they single? I wish I knew my Instagram handle off the top of my head. I'd say follow me. I'll follow you and slide into your DMs.
And they're from South Philadelphia, so you know you're going to like them.
Oh yeah, of course.
Good
It'd be
people.
great.
Yeah, good people. Sexy, funny, talented, and did I mention he is hot? He is just, he's a welcome ally, and we'd be grateful to have him on our side.
Yeah, and I'm glad that he talks so openly about it. You know, this isn't the first time he's referenced this, but it's always a good thing to remind us that we do have allies. If you haven't watched Welcome to Wrexham, and I know Greg hasn't because he doesn't do sports ball, but it's not really a show about sports. It's about the community, a small town, a small community's team, in this case, in this instance, soccer, football, what it can do to a town, how it brings them together, how they can revel in the misery of losing and be all the better for it because they've done it collectively. And Rob and Ryan Reynolds, who also is abolitionist, just for the record, they came in, they bought the team, and they're in it. Most of their stuff is shot in L.A. On Welcome to Wrexham, but most of the show is set in Wrexham, and it's just fun to see this little village, and that's what is part of Rob's roots. You know, welcoming, inclusion, the people that get overlooked, the LGBTQ moms, the town that gets overlooked, Little Wrexham. This is all a wonderful allegory for his life and for how he treats his family, and therefore how he treats his fans and even people who aren't his fans. He's a really good guy, and you know, I think they should do, when they do Welcome to Wrexham season 3, they should do a press junket. I'm here for you, baby.
Do you know, I hear that Gainesville and the Gators have the same sort of dynamic in reveling in the loss.
How was the bowl?
You know, I don't even remember the bowl, you know.
Well, I think it was against the Georgia Bulldogs, and I think it was 70.
I vaguely remember.
I think it was 78 to -4.
I vaguely remember this. I'm not sure.
They took points away from Florida
We're
State.
going to have to go and check back the tape. All right?
Girls, stay off the sports talk.
What are they
I have
talking
no idea
about?
talking about.
All right, Bobby,
Balls.
Take us out of
Get
it.
more entertainment. More entertainment.
All right, let's queer up entertainment. Amazing concert starring Mark Hayes coming to Sunshine Performing Arts on February 11th. Mark Hayes was raised in a creative musical environment, beginning piano lessons at age 10 and developing his improvisational skills at an early age. He has a special show at the Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts on Sunday, February 11th. Hayes' music is found in the music libraries of churches and universities around the world. His compositions and arrangements are known for their unique American sound, drawing from diverse musical styles such as gospel, jazz, pop, folk, and classical. He is honored to have his music regularly featured at ACDA, MENC, and Chorus America conventions. Hayes is regularly commissioned by churches, universities, children's choruses, and community choruses to write original choral works. The Grammy Award-winning Kansas City Chorale recorded Hayes for the chorus and orchestra. He has recorded over 25 solo piano recordings ranging from jazz to classical to gospel, and is a favorite arranger of church pianists throughout the globe. The special performance brings an entirely new meaning to Take Me to Church. All of the revenue of the center goes back to the community LGBTQ programming. The Sunshine Performing Arts program is the largest LGBTQ performance series in America. Tickets for the event starts at $20. For further details about the event and ticket purchases, visit sunshinecathedral.org. Well, actually, you know, in Asian terms, starting to learn piano at age 10 is like 5 years too late.
Right. Mozart had already written 8 symphonies by the time.
My mother has been my mother bugged me to learn an instrument by age 3. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I
What did you play?
I play violin.
Suzuki?
No, God. I have terrible flashbacks.
Oh, okay,
I have PTSD from like being foisted on musical education.
That's not good.
No, but anyways, well, Mr. Hayes, I'm sure is I'm sure the concert is delightful, and of course we're right here recording at the Sunshine Cathedral studio, and it is a fantastic opportunity to exposed ourselves to even more interesting music.
Sunshine does a lot of good programming, and I'm sure that this show will be good, even though not starting till 10 means that you are a slacker. But, other than that, I'm sure I'm playing. I love you. I can't wait for this show.
Wow.
That's mean.
That is mean.
I can't wait to see it. I think it sounds incredible. Every time I hear about piano and church music, I automatically think of Sister Act. Which is check your battery. All right, next let's queer up gay culture. Are you offended by the word queer? What does it really mean? Once considered a derogatory term, the term queer has undergone a transformation in perception. While some still find it controversial, most LGBTQ+ individuals have proudly reclaimed the word and use it positively. The term dates back to the 16th century, possibly originating from the German word queer, meaning oblique or perverse. Initially signifying oddity or peculiarity, it took on a negative connotation in the mid-20th century, when used as a slur against those with same-sex desires, particularly gay men. Amidst an LGBTQ activism of the 1970s and 1980s, some campaigners reappropriated the word queer as an umbrella term for gender and sexual minorities. Today, millennials widely use it inclusively to refer to individuals who are not straight and or not cisgender. Brian Lewis, author of British Queer History, identifies three primary uses for the term: reclamation from homophobes, as an umbrella term for the LGBTQ+ microdivisions, and as a marker of sexual fluidity opposing heterosexual and homosexual binaries. In 2020, the first daily LGBTQ+ news show initially used Q to avoid potential offense, eventually becoming Queer News Tonight. Surveys indicate that Gen Z overwhelmingly embraces the term, with over 90% holding a positive view. However, acceptance steadily decreases with each subsequent generation, reaching a low of 23% among baby boomers. So I am someone who had to come around to the term queer. I grew up, I knew I was gay frankly, in elementary school, growing up in a suburb of Atlanta, Georgia. And to me, the term queer always seemed a slur or derogatory towards me. As it has emerged in popular culture, I've started to come around to it, and I understand reclaiming the power of the word. Now I think that is so great to, sometimes it's so hard to do the whole LGBTQ+. You don't want to leave anyone out. You want to be inclusive. I love that there's an umbrella term that can express the beautiful diversity of our community.
Certainly more inclusive. And I can actually trace my change in attitude about the word back to the early 90s. Are any of you kids alive then? Early 90s. And the way that the activist group Queer Nation used it, and it was the act of taking away the sting, turning it into an acceptable form of self-identification. So that's sort of, again, it was, I heard it used negatively as well, but that was a moment, early 90s.
Having been, actually, since I grew up elsewhere, and I was under the British education system at the time, queer was not a derogatory term at all. In fact, it was just a word, basically. How odd, how peculiar, how
like fag?
No. More, well, like fag.
No, because that was a cigarette in the British educational system.
Well, but in British slang, fag is a cigarette. Right. Well, faggot is actually a meatball in Wales. But I'm not kidding.
No, I believe you. I absolutely believe you.
And so the term queer was not negatively coded to me until much later when I moved to America in the mid-90s. And by then, queer already has a more or less middle, some, like you said, some are reasserting, the word queer, they're reclaiming it.
Yeah, right.
And then there's, the still used as a slur. So, to this day, people still use it as a slur.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love etymology. So it's part of my degree. So, I have researched.
Isn't that the study of bugs?
We're close. But I do have friends who won't watch the show when I'm on it because
you're on it?
Because I'm on it and I'm sitting here with you. No, because of the word queer, and they're older and they're just not willing to come around to it because they were so hurt by it when they were younger.
What do they think of Queer Eye or Queer as Folk?
Then, no.
Same thing.
Yeah, same thing. But again, it's as the story said, Gen Z is, more embracing and kind of some of us are coming around to it. And I, of course, much like you, I like that we have that umbrella term and can use it. But as part of the history of the word, I don't know if you know this or not, but for a brief period of time, and it's antiquated now, we don't use it, but for a brief period of time, it did mean drunk.
Oh.
So it still applies.
So we can say that John and I have been queer on the drive.
Yes, we can.
I'm a queer sometimes.
Wow.
I love that they said that the word used to mean oblique, and a certain part of our gym community, it still does. Also, a little bit of lore that I've been told. Obviously, I joined the show, I think, in year 3. But I'm told that we did start out being Q News, but because we didn't want to be offensive. Turns out we had to stop saying Q because everybody thought Q News was QAnon. This is I've been told by veterans. I don't know this for a fact. So apparently, queer was less offensive than other things that Q could have meant, and so we embrace it. And
back in the day, the OK sign was OK sign. Q was just a letter.
Right.
And
it brought me Sesame Street sometime. It was Sesame Street was presented by the letter Q. And the number 69. All right, Bobby, take us to church.
Next, we are proud of our special partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. Supporting that partnership, we are broadcasting from our permanent sets right here at Sunshine Cathedral at the Happening Out television studios. We broadcast Sunshine Cathedral's Sunday International Service at 10:30 a.m.
Finally tonight, we have our special brief headlines of the day in a segment we call LGBTQ plus 1 Minute News.
LGBTQ plus 1 Minute News, let's queer up religion. Anti-LGBTQ plus hate pastor gives opening prayer in House of Representatives. This week, Reverend Jack Hibbs, a Christian pastor known for his history of anti-LGBTQ plus comments, served as the guest chaplain in the House of Representatives. Hibbs, from Calvary Chapel in Chino Hills, California, delivered the opening prayer, emphasizing the Constitution as God's great gift to all freedom-loving people, while avoiding overtly political topics. The House Office of the Chaplain notes that guest chaplains are recommended by members of Congress, but the identity of Hobbs's sponsor remains undisclosed. Hibbs' invitation stirred controversy due to his strongly negative stance towards the LGBTQ plus community.
LGBTQ plus 1 Minute News, let's queer up business. LGBTQ plus community asks why Bud Light is now partnering with anti-gay comic. Bud Light is sparking controversy by their partnership with comedian Shane Gillis, known for racist and homophobic comments. He was hired as a season 45 SNL regular alongside Bowen Yang and Chloe Feynman. Gillis has since faced backlash after clips of him using offensive slurs surfaced. Despite the controversy, Bud Light is announcing a partnership with Gillis, leading to his posts on Instagram and inclusion on Team 2024 Tour, whatever that is. This move raises concerns about the beer brand's stance on inclusivity, especially following last year's international headlines involving trans activist, the fabulous Dylan Mulvaney.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up the worldview. Finland may elect gay DJ as president. Finland's upcoming presidential election has since become a tight race between former Prime Minister Alexander Stubb and Paska Haavisto, the country's former foreign minister. Stubb won the first round, setting up a runoff with Haavisto, who has a significant chance of winning. Haavisto noted during a recent campaign event that people might never have envisioned a gay man being elected president. His campaign stands out for featuring popular musicians and his performances at DJ Paxi, which showcase his favorite songs from the 60s and 70s. Haavisto, a member of the Green League Party, is now in a closely contested election after eliminating 11 other candidates.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up the USA view. Here's the new straight pride flag, and the politics are full of hate. LGBTQ plus flags are bold and colorful symbols in the community that represent the array of included identities. Now, in addition to a limited number of straight prides around the country, there is also a straight pride flag. It looks like you'd expect. It copies the pride flag, but it is wiped of color and meaning. The most common iteration of the straight pride flag is just a flag consisting of black and white horizontal bars. Apparently, their pride is centered in no flair, creativity, or zest for life through color. Yeah, you get the point. The straight pride flag was created as a direct attempt to mimic and troll the pride flag. The reactionary straight pride marches have been taking place since the 1980s, often used as an anti-gay stance to ridicule the LGBTQ plus community.
Well, that is today's news for the LGBTQ plus community on the world's first and still only daily LGBTQ plus evening news show.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Are you, like most of America, part of our very large television audience watching this live LGBTQ plus news broadcast right now on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and Amazon Fire TV?
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ plus digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world.
This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ plus stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots magazine, happening on our television network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm John Hayden, and on behalf of these LGBTQ plus reporters, the anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Dr. Tai Houser, Dr. Gregg Shapiro, Dr. Bobby Huen, and Ryan Hurst.
I'm a doctor too.
We will see you daily at 8 p.m. And to our LGBTQ plus world, we wish you a very good weekend and a very good night.
Good night.